Welcome to Rock DIY or Do It You. If you do it, then it's all you.
This is what the third brake light looks like around the edges. And this is a 2010 Ford F150 Platinum. I had two issues with this third brake light. Along these edges, just like the tail lights on my truck, it would get a lot of debris and algae, mold, moss, whatever it is. And then the other thing is I always had condensation on the inside. To remove the third brake light, basically take out these two screws, and then the whole light itself is supposed to come out. But in my case, the lens is separated. You can actually see where it's supposed to be joined here with this portion. So that was what contributed to my condensation issue. So rather than just trying to clean the edges, it looks like I'm either going to have to glue it or replace it. When I took the third brake light off and noticed that the lens was removed from the rest of the light housing, I didn't realize that this piece of the plastic, which should be similar to that, had separated. And I'm assuming that it was still sitting here, because I remember when I removed the light that I heard something fall, but didn't realize what it was until now. I originally took off this third brake light to clean around the edges, but since where the screws go, this piece is missing, fell on the ground somewhere and I cannot find it. So rather than cleaning it and then attempting to fix it, looks like I will have to replace it unless by some miracle I find this little piece of plastic that I can glue back on here so that the screws can hold the third brake light in place. The piece that broke off fell between, I'm guessing it fell between the bed of the truck and the cab, and I cannot find that piece anywhere in this gravel. So I'm in luck. After I searched for about 20-30 minutes for this little piece that broke off the lens, I couldn't find it. My wife came out and found it in less than 2 minutes. So I'm going to attempt to fix this, seal it, and see if it'll hold up. But I have a good feeling that I will more than likely be replacing this lens. This is what the third brake light looks like after it's cleaned up, and you can only really see this because the lens broke off the light housing, but you can see it's in pretty bad shape. Looks like a lot of sun exposure damage. I cleaned up the broken lens from the third brake light, and it actually came out really clean. The plastic piece where the screw goes sits perfectly on the backside, so there's no guess on where it actually needs to go. So I'll be able to glue that in place. I don't normally have a lot of confidence in any super glue type products. I'm going to use this Gorilla Super Glue Clear to hopefully keep this piece on. I'm going to run a bead of the Gorilla Super Glue around this edge right here, and then join it onto this housing portion of the third brake light. And I could use clamps, but it only requires to be held in place 30 to 45 seconds to adhere. The lens is glued on to the third brake light housing. Put a pretty good bead on there to make sure that it's sealed all the way around. But we'll see. If anything, this will serve as a temporary light until I order a replacement. I did use super glue to seal the edge, and then I also used it to reapply this portion of the housing with super glue as well. But as I stated before, I'm not a big fan of super glue, and one of the big reasons, and I don't know if you can see it in this video, is you can get super glue normally causes a lot of haze that you can see in different spots on this lens. It wouldn't be so bad, but since most of the haze is to the inside of the lens, I can't get to it. Otherwise, I could use some acetone to take it off cautiously, but I've already decided that this will just be a temporary fix until I get the one that I ordered to replace it. The original intent of this video was to demonstrate how to clean the grime around the third brake light lens, but in the process of removing the light, discovered why I have condensation inside the lens. Because the light assembly was broke, I wasn't able to demonstrate how to clean it, but you can refer to my other video on how to clean the tail lights on the F150. It's very similar.
Thanks for watching the video. I truly appreciate it. I hope this video motivates you to take on future DIY projects. There's nothing more satisfying than completing a project on your own. Please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks again.